Hi, welcome to Shrink Wrapped. I'm Allison Colarossi here with Dr. David Colarossi, and we are back from vacation. It was fun.
What was your favorite part about the vacation?
Aside from hanging out with you?
Which I know was definitely far and away the most enjoyable piece.
I actually did. I had a lot of fun with you. We tried 2 new things together, which I thought was fun.
What did we try?
The flying trapeze.
Yes. And the other thing?
Which was a highlight for me. Yeah.
Yes.
And we also tried kite surfing, which I don't know if any of you guys are experts at that, but we just tried not to die doing it, but it was a lot of fun.
So can I just say that going on vacation with you is like it's what I imagine. It's not just, I guess what I want to say is going on vacation with you is like being with this crazy thing that never stops. But I realize it's not just vacation that's that way. You have a hummingbird heart. So every vacation, my goal, I have no time to read.
You had time to read.
No, I don't.
You didn't do.
Hold on, can I tell the story? Let me just tell the story, okay?
Okay.
I always want to. I'd like to go. I'm on vacation for 6 days. I feel like I should read a book and just drink mojitos. That's what I think I should be doing. But it ends up that we're there, and day one, Allison's like, okay, what are we going to do? Let's get an agenda going. We go and we talk and we sign up for all of the water sports. This means like, are we going to do wakeboarding? Are we going to go get dragged behind a boat in a tube? We want to do kite surfing, which is like a 3-day minimum training experience. And we went to Club Med in the Dominican Republic because they are well known for having a circus school. So what that means is that on day one, like I've had a couple of mojitos, and next thing you know, I'm scaling this thing that is like, it's gotta be 40 feet in the air, 30 feet in the air. You're 40 feet in the air. There's a bunch of Dominicans up there that don't speak a lot of English that are like, just grab onto this thing and then you swing, and then you have to, you've got this, like, it's like the monkey bar that's swinging in the air, and you have to wrap your feet up over it and hang from your knees. And then you got to lean back. And if you lean back effectively, then they're going to put another guy up there that will catch you, and you can do the catch. And it's a big, like, everybody wants to be approved to do the catch. So first of all, they don't ever explain. I still am frustrated by this. They never explain how to get your knees up there. I assume that there is some point in the swing where the centrifugal force helps you get your feet up there, but I don't never know what it is, and I can't ever tell. And so I'm in panic mode that I'm going to be the fat guy that can't get his legs up over that bar. So I rush to get it up there. I'm like a little bit, sick from the movement. My performance is lackluster. Allison, well, I should step back. We have been to Club Med 3 times over the course of our relationship. Allison went when she was a kid. It has been a lifelong journey for Allison to do this thing well enough to be caught. So again, we are immediately in training. Allison is getting massages. She's stretching. She's been going to Pilates for 3 months before we go on vacation so that her body is prepared to do the catch.
All that, all that work came to fruition.
And it was a big moment. She got approved to do the catch.
I wore a special outfit.
You go up there and you have an hour to practice. Mm-hmm. And then once you get approved, they say, you're approved for today. And then you can come back in the next hour and we'll put a guy up there who will catch you. So Allison comes down. Hey, I'm like, congratulations, sweetheart. Want to just relax? And no. Let's run back to our house, to our room, and I need to change outfits. What? Well, I have a special dress for it. So she has a pink, like, what is it, a tennis skirt that she puts on for the catch. And I will say, you looked spectacular.
Thank you. Well, you know what? I think the net of it is that, like, trying new things is really fun, even on vacation. I feel like they were all really fun, all the new things we tried. And you definitely had time to read a book. And if you didn't, that was your own problem because I read a book.
I read half a chapter that whole time. But I worked out.
I think we need to talk about time management.
I was on vacation. See, this is what I'm talking about. I got to practice time management on vacation.
I am lovable.
You are very lovable.
Anyway, I have some things to talk about.
What do we have?
Ghislaine Maxwell's new documentary on Netflix. It's very interesting.
Did you watch it?
I watched the whole thing.
I did not watch it.
She will go down in history, as they said on the show, as a very rare, it's very rare, but a female serial predator, sexual predator. There's not very many of them.
Yeah, and what makes it especially rare is that she doesn't meet any of the other, like, typically comorbid issues. She wasn't impoverished, no apparent mental health problems. She came, not only was she not impoverished now, but she came from money. There's no known sexual abuse. Like, she wasn't a victim herself. Like, so everything that, like, typically leads to females perpetrating sex crimes, she does not meet the criteria.
But it did come out in the documentary that she was probably emotionally abused.
By her father?
By her father, yeah. And she watched how her father treated her mother, which was basically like a doormat. So like it did seem like a little, and I can't remember the word, but when like transference from like she was always trying to please her dad like her whole life. And it seems like that's what she was doing at Jeffrey Epstein. Is that transference?
I don't know. I will tell you that people were laughing about our last podcast where you were talking about Pavlov. And I was like trying to be like, well, how is that? I'm not sure that.
I'm not the psychologist. So I'm going to leave it to the expert.
Yeah. I don't think that's transference. Transference is typically talking about in a relationship where, you know, like my emotions about somebody else gets transferred onto you.
Oh.
Is that what you're talking about? You think, say it again.
I think it's just a pattern of behavior. So she grew up like needing to please her dad to get attention from her father and love from her father and acceptance from her father. She was one of 8 kids. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, she was one of 8 kids, and I think that I believe the last time I looked it up, and this is a year ago, but the big challenge was, or you know, she had a lot of challenges in her life. One was a crappy father, or a father who was very much offered her conditional positive regard. Like she had to serve him in order to gain his affection. And she got a lot of love initially. Then one of her older brothers, who I think was like 15, got in a really bad car accident, almost died. He was paralyzed. And then that consumed all of the attention from the family. So like at a very early age, she had affection and she lost affection and then had to find ways to gain that affection back. And the way that she got that affection back from her father was to sort of serve him in any way that she could. She ended up working for him. He was you just watched that. I'm trying to remember from a year ago, but he was like he had some shady business deals. And so she, you know, I think like from a psychological standpoint, she got used to serving a man for attention. Mm-hmm. And she got used to aligning herself with men that had negative behaviors, that did things, that had poor business practices.
And just like he always had mistresses around, even in front of Ghislaine.
So I didn't know that, but that would make sense. So he normalized, in some ways, normalized sort of behavior. The challenge is that Epstein didn't have consensual mistresses, right? He's r***ing young women, and she's setting it. I mean, her behavior was so extreme compared to what. It wasn't like he was just having affairs. These are underage girls. Well, and
she was like, he like lied to her and said that he needed to have, a doctor told him that he needed to have 3 orgasms a day because he had like some type of medical condition. And so she like couldn't keep up with that. So that's why she did that. That was like one of I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. That was Epstein's line to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah."
She also went to Oxford, so I'm unimpressed with the education then. Or her willingness to believe some nonsense like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But it is like, and there's a lot, I mean, if you look online, there are a lot of psychologists trying to figure out like the mechanism behind Ghislaine's behavior, because it's so rare to have an educated, I mean, she's educated, doesn't have any apparent mental illness. I mean, you could say that she's a narcissist, or, you know, that she's got antisocial personality disorder, but no, you know, no mental illness that people were aware of before this came out. Came from money. No drug problem that we're aware of. Pretty rare.
Yeah. Maybe an addiction to like power over others.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be addicted to that?
Sure. I mean, I'm not diagnosable, but yeah, I think that you can get used to.
She was calling the girls trash, like they weren't even people. Like she had totally dehumanized them.
I think it would make sense from a, you know, you could probably argue that if she grew up and she felt like she was trash, she grew up and she felt like she was mistreated, I can imagine that it would feel empowering to her to treat somebody else poorly and sort of have this special position. You know, that's really what it was about for her, is how do I have this special position with Epstein where only I can bring this value, only I can bring this value, only I understand his needs. Like I am unique and special. You know, I think coming from a place of deep insecurity. And so, yeah, maybe that made her feel good to belittle other people.
They just seem just like global con artists to me, because Epstein, like, I think it came out like he never even went to college, right? He just like lied and became a math teacher. And then I'm like, how was he able to keep managing lots of rich people's money? Was he making money for them? Was he any good at what he was doing?
I don't know. Was it
like a Ponzi scheme? I know. I need to look into that.
There's a part of me, though, I feel like I wish that there was if I was a college professor, I would create a series of classes where we learn the good pieces of villains. You know what I mean? Like if you think about Epstein, his behavior was abhorrent. He was, you know, he had zero moral compass. The guy is the devil, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that there's a piece of, he was doing something right to get successful. The way he positioned himself with people that were in positions of status was effective. He had a level of hubris. He had a level of confidence.
Right. I would say effective. Because it wasn't right. He wasn't doing something right.
Okay,
he
effective.
was like stomping on other people to get
there. Okay, but there's a quality that we can learn from.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's all these serial killers, like Charles Manson, he was charismatic and influential. And I feel like in an extreme way, you're getting people to murder others, throw away their own lives because they so badly want to align with you. Like I wish that it'd be so interesting to see, like, could you do an analysis of, well, what is this? What are they actually doing that's effective? And can you take that and...
Well, it's interesting that because I'm watching another documentary about Waco and David Koresh, and like, how did he get all those people?
Right.
Or the like the polygamous sect, like Warren Jeffs, like adult males. How do you like?
Yeah, I will say, as I'm saying it, I think that it's probably not the greatest idea, because the answer is probably you're delusional, you're overconfident, and you are interacting with people that are completely unhinged and mentally unstable, right? So David Koresh was not picking the most well-grounded and stable people to recruit.
What was that woman you talked about she was like kind of mean? That's a YouTube star, but was trying to act like a trauma psychologist.
Oh, Teal Swan?
Yeah, like her.
Yeah.
She's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I will say, I think Teal Swan, if I could get her, I would love to interview her. So Teal Swan is, I mean, it's definitely got some cultish vibes, but I will say, I think you're right as far as she does have hubris. Mm-hmm. She believes deeply in what she is doing and thinks she is an absolute expert in it. And you could argue that that her feelings of expertise are unfounded, right? She's using her personal experiences and thinking that because she's been through traumatic experiences, then she somehow knows how to, support others through trauma. And there's probably I'm not sure that you could convince everybody that line of thinking is accurate, but yeah, so maybe that's the through line, and that we're just talking about. The through line might just be you have to so believe in what you're doing that you're a little bit deluded by it, and people that are unstable or on rocky ground or looking for
they're looking for a North
rudder.
Star.
Yeah, they're looking for a North Star. Buy into it.
It's so interesting because as you were saying that, like David Koresh or Warren Jeffs or Teal Swan, like all these people, they don't seem like any fun to me. They seem very serious.
Yeah, they're very into them. They're very into themselves.
Yeah. Every time I hear Teal Swan, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, she comes across as very intense. Mm-hmm. And and I think that she likes the fact that she's more intense and can go deeper than other people. Likes to go deeper than other people.
She goes deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, lots to think about. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is...
Hold on, let me ask you. So if you were going to create a cult, how would you create it? If I say, like, your goal is to create a cult, what do?
I think I'm the wrong person for the job because I'm a natural introvert, and having people, like, follow me around would be really irritating. Mm-hmm. Plus, I don't think I have enough depth, like, to get there. Depth/imagination. I feel like all these people are probably highly imaginative. Like, they all see visions of God. I think about, I watched the documentary recently about that woman who thought her and her boyfriend were like either God or disciples, and they killed their kids. This was like really recently. They killed their kids, and he wrote books about it.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Oh, I saw that. It was on... Yeah, do you just watch murder on Netflix? It's like exclusively murder shows?
I'm just really curious about these people, but it's the same thing. It's like they just have like these... Again, you're right, they're delusional, but it's like delusions of grandeur where they think they're better than everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, she killed her ex-husband because he wasn't her spiritual equal. And then the guy she started dating, did a mathematical equation about people around them. And, like, they had scores of if they were zombies or not. And so they had to kill all the zombies. And then they talked her brother into killing, like, all these people around him. He killed his wife. She killed her 2 kids.
Is this a show you're talking? Is it the same people?
Yeah, no, this is the same people.
Well, whatever. As far, I don't know what even, you have to name the documentary. People are like, what is she talking about? You have to say what your show
Sorry,
is.
I can't remember. I'm sorry I don't have it on the top of my head because I didn't.
It's about the Church of Latter-day Saints. Like, they were originally affiliated with the LDS.
They were originally Mormon, but then they broke from that.
And went
rogue. Yep.
Okay, but the through line is, if we talk about all of these, because I'm thinking about if I was going to create a cult, it's a cult of David. First of all, I think that I'm trying to like edit out all of like the inappropriate things that I want to say. Just say I would have a very specific group of followers. But of that group of followers, what I would have to do is make sure that I never am curious about things. I think you have to believe whatever it is. I think you are preying on, for most cults, you're preying on death anxiety, and you are offering a solution, and you have to be 100% convinced in your solution or by your solution. And whenever a question is being asked, you have to have the complete answer.
Yes.
I bet you that's the death anxiety always. The people that are looking for you are having no sense of purpose or meaning in their life. They're scared, I think. My theory would be that they're scared about like, what does this all mean? I'm going to die, and die for what? And they're looking for a North Star. You provide that for them. And then whenever they ask a question, you have to just give an answer and act like you just know so much more than they do.
It's their conviction in what they're saying. And those people, I always, that are heavily convicted, they're very, they're convincing to other people.
That's a big part of influence is conviction. Like
all the people we brought up today, they all are very similar. Although the mom of the one I was watching that killed her 2 kids, she seemed a little bit more fun, like before she went off the deep end, like than the others.
Yeah, before she went nuts. So yeah, I will link in the description of this video what the actual
I don't know
thing is, so people can watch it.
Mm-hmm. It was a good documentary.
All right, I'm aware of the time, so I think we gotta cut this one short.
Okay.
But we have more to talk about. We'll do another one soon. We got more to talk about.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.